This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening and welcome to the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Well, that was a flat-out bad beat, a tough one for sure. 4-3 the final as the Dodgers find some life. So my little note to the right of my head or left, I don't know, depending on how you're looking at it. Dodgers bats lifeless again. Still pretty true, but ultimately they did find some energy, some life at the end of the game, but too little, too late as they fall to the Mets again. So better luck against the Yankees than they're having against the other New York team, the team they beat in the NLCS last year. They've now dropped 3 of 4 to the Metropolitans. A lot of good things from a defensive perspective until Tanner Scott got in the game. So here are my 3 takeaways from today's loss. It was a perfect night for the bullpen until Tanner Scott got the ball. And then he just started throwing his fastballs over the plate. I've said this a few times of late during this struggle that he's going through right now, that his balls just don't seem to be doing anything. That sounded terrible. His pitches aren't moving. Excuse me. Oh, man. Slider, four-seam. Four-seamer got ripped. He turned right around the next hitter. Slider, four-seam. Four-seamer got ripped. I mean, they were down, but they were just, it was 95 miles an hour. I don't want to say they were, 89 or 90, but there's just no action on his balls. They're not moving. His pitches are just flat and very, very hittable. Nando thinks Mark Pryor broke him. I'd like to hear more about that theory, Nando, for sure. That's my first takeaway, that Tanner Scott is still struggling and making life way too easy on the opponent. Dustin May came in strong tonight again. So that's a good positive sign. 6 solid innings when we need that from the bullpen. From the starter, to give a little bit of respite and rest to the bullpen. He gave up 2 runs on 6 hits while striking out 5, 88 pitches, and in complete command and control, and that's good to see. Reliable, solid, all the things you want from a starting pitcher. Confident, calm, out there taking care of business. And it felt like a game to me up until the 9th, and then really ultimately by the end of the game, this is still true. A bunch of near misses, like right at the very end. Will Smith, that fly out to right center field, just missed it. How many balls did Max Muncy just miss? Square up, but didn't go out. And that's the breaks beating the boys. That's baseball, right? Dodgers, and I know some of you hate it when I say they hit the ball hard, but it's a fact. They did. They hit the ball hard. They just hit it right at people, and sometimes not hard enough. So we can look at the 9th inning rally and say that was fun. That's something, Edmond leads off with a hit on his bobblehead night, steals second right away, rushing Cade on a ball up and away, trying to pull it. It's tough to do that on a ball up and away. Song Kim, an infield single on a diving play at short by Lindor. That saved a run and quite possibly the game for them. And then Ohtani, a sac fly to right to make it 2-2. Runner still on base. Teo struck out there to end the 9th inning rally and send it into extras, where Tanner Scott came in and left the barn door open and all the cows got out. Back-to-back doubles on 4-seam fastballs that were right down Main Street. The 10th, Andy Paez. God, that guy is continuing to perform night after night after night. You can't put it all on his back, but he's showing up when he needs to. 2 for 5 tonight, had an RBI. That came in the 10th inning. I felt like he had 3 hits, but he didn't. And Max Muncy felt like he had more than none because he hit the ball hard all the time. Renteria is with me. Pajes is performing. Don't care. Comments are coming in so fast I can't even click on them. Don't care 187. Kim needs to play every day just on his speed. It's a fair point. I just don't think they're going to do that. Where are you going to put him every day? Center field? No, that's where Pajes plays. I mean, I guess you could make an argument that he should get more at bats than Michael Conforto for sure. Yankee fan here, 99/22. Max Muncy is terrible. Okay, totally disagree. Trade Muncy. Okay, again, totally disagree. You're a Yankee fan. I don't expect you to think Max Muncy's any good. Max Muncy is a Dodger, So we do our best to give him love and support as he's trying to get his season on track, which he's been good over the last 10 games. So, if you want to dig into the numbers a little bit more, you can see that Max Muncy is finding his way. Wasn't great tonight, but again, just missed a couple times. So Tommy Edman, 1 for 5, Dalton Rushing, 0 for 4, Haesung, 2 for 4, the batting average at 420. And really, without Shohei, I think this game is a shutout.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Well, the turning point was when Tanner Scott gave up back-to-back doubles in the 10th inning, and the Mets took a 4-2 lead. But as far as the Dodgers getting back into this game to make it interesting, it was the Shohei Ohtani blast. His 23rd home run of the season. That came in the 7th inning to make it 2-1. It was a hang it and bang it sort of curveball that just came floating over the plate, and he unloaded on it. And I loved Joe's call. It was so genuine. He just said, whoa, because that was how he felt at the time. And I kind of agreed, because that ball was just, moonshot, completely launched. But unfortunately, there was nobody on, and it wouldn't be enough for the Dodgers to tie the game then or grab a lead, but dancing around it all night long.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Another loss to the Mets, I think, is what we're going to be talking about. Unfortunately, there were a few good things. Like I said, good outing from Dustin May. Jack Dreyer came in for 2 innings, 1 K, the rest zeros. He had a 4-pitch inning. He was fantastic. 15 total on the night. Trevino looked good again. What was the stat on Trevino that I heard? Has given up 1 hit in 30 plus at bats versus him. So he's been a welcome addition to the bullpen for the Dodgers. Hopefully they can find a place to keep him around. Unfortunately, they paid Tanner Scott too damn much money, so they've got to keep him around. I don't know what you do with this guy. You can't not play him. I don't know that anybody would want to pick up a deal, trading him. You can't DFA him. It's really, you got to work through it. You got to figure it out. I don't know how, but he has just not been good of late. His ERA up to 4.73 after giving up 1 earned, 2 total on 2 hits, 19 pitches. So, that's what we're talking about. The bullpen is getting a little bit of relief and therefore a little bit better, more effective. But Tanner Scott still struggling for sure. Out hit by the Mets. Not out hit by the Mets. Sorry, reading that wrong. Dodgers with 9 hits tonight. Mets only produced 8, which scored them 4 runs. 4-3 the final in 10. Dodgers now 21-10 at home, 36-24, while the Mets improve to 38-22. They've been playing good baseball ever since they took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers at Citi Field. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, a place to hang out when every game is done. And don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Monday through Friday, they come in right after the game as well, and give you 30 to 35 minutes after we give you an instant reaction of 15 to 20. I am Pete Fox. Thank you for joining me here. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast. We'll take the break, come right back and wrap it up and get to the player of the game. Love to hear your thoughts on that one because I don't know it at the moment. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Looking for a snack that is both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. It's only 1 ounce. It feels like so much more. I have these in my cabinet right now, the Wonderful Pistachios. I enjoy them. I throw them in my golf bag. As I mentioned, I played golf. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I didn't have them in there. Could have used them. It would have been very helpful as I was getting hungry and dehydrated by the end of the round. I could have used some of that protein to kind of get me to the finish line, but I survived. Next time I'll remember to bring my Wonderful Pistachios. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Dodgers fall 4-3 in 10. Somebody says in the chat here, trade Tanner Scott. I just, I don't know that would happen right now just because he's going through a funk. I feel like he is a proven veteran closer or at least high leverage relief pitcher. You can't just make him walk the plank after a few bad outings. I'm frustrated too. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know that I agree with Nando in saying that Dodger pitching coach ruined him, but maybe. I don't know how that would have happened. Blanking on the name of the Dodger pitching coach after I just mentioned it at the start of the program here. But it's been bad, and it's a nail biting situation. Whenever he gets into the game, you don't feel like you're in a comfortable, confident, dominating position when he comes into the game. He doesn't have what it takes right now. His pitches are just not doing what they need to do. Mark Pryor. Thank you, Nando. Sorry. Just blanked. I'm trying to read the comments tonight, but they are coming fast and feverishly. I wish the Dodger offense was as dialed up as you guys are tonight in the comment. It's really all about Tanner Scott tonight. GABA 100. Tanner Scott is confirmed ass. Daniel Berry, right to the point. Tanner blows. Alex Renteria, Pirate, please explain. Pirate Pete, please explain to us why Tanner is still pitching in late innings. I think, because he's a veteran, because he's proven to be good in these situations. There's a lot of reasons. They've paid him a ton of money, and that plays into it. The other fact is that the Dodger bullpen is still banged up, and they don't have a ton of other high leverage guys that they feel confident in. They have to keep running him out there to help him work through it. How else is he going to work through it? I don't think that he is a guy that they're going to put on the block and try to trade. So someone just called him Tanner Kimbrell. I think someone is questioning me, saying that I said 2 bad outings. I didn't say that. Maybe someone else did. It's been more than 2. But yeah, it's a variety of things as to why he is getting in the game in these high leverage late inning situations. I think it's Doc and Pryor saying, hey, he's going to work through it. Don't worry. At some point, it's going to be okay. But that is not yet. So, look, he was responsible tonight. It's not only his fault. You can look at some of the other things and say, look, Bonda hasn't been great of late. Who else? Vesia hasn't been great of late. The guy that's been fairly reliable that I kind of would like to see in those later inning situations more frequently, at least right now, as we're working through this problem with Tanner Scott and all of the injuries, is Ben Kasperius. That guy is, like a multi-tool. You can put him in a variety of situations, and he's going to be good to go. Jack Dreyer was good today. 2 innings. Very effective. As I said, at a 4-pitch inning. But I don't know that you're going to want to run. He's a rookie. You're not going to run him out there in a high leverage situation. So I would say the biggest answer to that question is why we're seeing him out there. In addition to all the other things I mentioned, it's because they just don't have a lot of other options. So unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to deal with here. TFN until they figure it out. TFN is till further notice, and till they figure it out is TFO. So tough loss tonight, 4-3, the final. The Dodgers had opportunities. They hit the ball hard, a bunch of near misses, just not quite squaring it up when they needed to and getting that clutch hit. This is, I think, part of the reason that we look at these 18-run games and have a mixed emotion on how we feel after they're over. Yeah, it's cool to watch the Dodgers pummel somebody. I remember early in the season after the 8-0 start, we were like, I would just like to, some of the chat, I agreed with the comment that I would just like to pound somebody one night. And, of course, the Dodgers started doing that on occasion, and I've done it a handful of times this year where they just boat raced somebody. And it always invariably turns into a lack of scoring the next night. So that's, I think, why we have a little bit of a mixed feeling when that game turns out to be 18-2, because we kind of know, if you pay attention at all, then more than likely this kind of thing is going to happen for a night or two afterwards. Now, I feel like they started to find their way a little bit tonight. I feel like they're going to break out of it tomorrow and put up some bigger numbers than they did tonight and not have to scratch through in late innings. Again, 4-3, the final. Tommy Edman clutched up in the 9th to tie the game on his bobblehead night, and that was nice to see. And I think for that, he deserves this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Tommy Edman, let's give it to him tonight, because without him, it would have been over a little bit earlier, right? He got them, tied, got that rally going there in the 9th, leading off with a hit. And then who scored him? I can't even remember now. But Tommy Edman played well tonight, even though he struck out right at the end of the game with the runner on third. So maybe not completely the best selection, but Andy Pages, sure, you could give it to him. Honorable mention to Andy Pages tonight, who did he knock in that third run? I think he did. Yeah. Sack fly from Ohtani. That made it 2-2, and then Pages made it 4-3. So Pages gets honorable mention. Andy Pages still continuing to roll. As for tomorrow, Dodgers again take on the Mets. It's game 2 of the series. I unfortunately will not be here for the post game tomorrow. I will be off tomorrow, traveling to my vacation destination, but I'll be back on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Jeff from Locked On Dodgers is going to do, Jeff and/or Vince is going to do the Cardinals series over the weekend, and I'll be back for Padres early next week. But Kershaw will take on Tyler McGill tomorrow. Kershaw looking for his first decision of the season. He's got a 4.91 ERA, a 1.55 whip. He's allowed just 1 home run, 6 walks, 6 Ks, 11 hits through 11 innings. Yeah, you'd like those numbers to be a little bit better, but he's been okay the last couple of times out. So keep your fingers crossed that he comes out and dominates and the offense gets going early. Will Smith will be back behind the plate again tomorrow as Dalton Rushing started today. Final thought for me that I thought was an interesting conversation that came up during the game. Hershiser was talking about it, that it's We're all excited about Dalton Rushing being at the major league level, but it's got to be tough for him to find rhythm, not being able to play every day. And it's the first time in his career that he's never played all the games, like every day, day in and day out, that he's not in the lineup because Will Smith is better, veteran, high paid, etc. Top, what is it, 2 or 3, if not the top batting average in the National League with runners in scoring position. He's red hot right now. So you're not going to put Rushing out there more. They did think that maybe once Ohtani starts pitching, that he might get some more ABs from the DH position. He can play the outfield. That's also a possibility, but it has to be a challenge for him to try to find rhythm, only playing a couple of days a week. I think it's a little bit easier than being like Kike, who has to just be there and be ready, not knowing when he's going to get into the game at all. At least Dalton knows he's going to get out there 2 out of 7 days a week. And hopefully you can plan those ahead of time so he can kind of, be mentally prepared for that. But, he's still trying to find his way as a rookie, and it is good. It's not terrible. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. But it is interesting for sure. Tonight, he was 0 for 4, batting .231 at the bottom of the lineup, and Conforto continues to struggle. 0 for 3 tonight, pulled in a weird way in the 10th inning in the batter's box. Doc runs out of the dugout and starts waving at the umpire, who, by the way, was terrible tonight, calling balls, strikes, balls, but fortunately he did it on both sides. It wasn't just against the Dodgers, it was against both teams, or in favor of both teams, however you want to look at it. But yeah, that guy was brutal behind the plate for sure. But Will Smith came in, flied out, was unable to clutch up as we were all hoping that he would. And it turns out to be a near miss for the Dodgers, losing in 10 by a score of 4-3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you guys with the comments coming hot and heavy tonight, trying to, get this loss off of your chest, some cathartic complaining as we do here after a loss on the postcast. And I'm happy to be here to go back and forth with you guys, because I feel the frustration as well. 4-3, the final in 10. The Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Again, don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince with the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast Monday through Friday right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Take care. Have a good night. We will talk on